огромная трагедия для нашей бухарской общины. К сожалению, вчера вечером, после шаббата, позвонил мне мой друг, одноклассник, домой этой семьи, Шмуэль Табибов, сообщил неприятную новость. В возрасте 60 лет, на 61 году, наш многоуважаемый, дорогой, боговерящий человек, Талмид Хахам Мират Шамай, Рeuven, бен Мазал, бен Давид Pinkhasov, закрыл свои глаза, вернул душу обратно Богу. Рeuven, единственный сын, младший сын, его сестра Лариса, Белла, Геола и вся семья вместе с супругой Ципора, Беньямин, Pinkhasov, дети Аделя, Мирьям и Миригал, с домотными келинами Шмуэль, Беньямин и Браха, когда полетят в Израиль, не смогут объяснить беспричинную смерть матери Апамаза, что она потеряла своего единственного сына вчера. Рeuven родился в 1963 году, 14 апреля, в праздник Песах. Дорогие друзья, он родился в праздник чуда. Он скончался чудо. Человек, который вчера днем в ресторане «Кристалл» вспоминал свою тетю, на нее читал Кадиш целый год, изучал Тору, и вчера провел красиво, замечательно. После шаббата хотел с друзьями немного посидеть, и вдруг, друзья, сел на стол, потерял сознание, и душа вышла. Секрет Бога мы не понимаем. Вчера вечером мы начали читать нашу последнюю главу Торы из книги Берешит, Парашат Вайхи. Параша называется Параша Сутума, закрытая глава Торы. Тора говорит, когда Яков Авину скончался, он должен был до этого рассказать секрет, когда придет Машиах. Он должен был открыть секрет для всего еврейского народа. Но Тора говорит, когда Яков скончался, глаза и сердце еврейского народа закрылись. И даже египтяне не поняли, что случилось, что больше никто не мог дать прямую информацию, духовную силу, то, что Яков Авину принимал даже в Египте от Бога и передавал для народа. Сегодня ни супруга, ни дети, никто из нас, мы не можем понять, в чем секреты Бога, что Бог, друзья, за 24 часа двоих молодых в возрасте 60 лет забирает из нас. Это покойный Reuven, Pinkhasov, и сейчас мне позвонили, друзья, покойный Борис Абрамов, 60 лет, тоже ушел внезапно во сне. Дорогие друзья, что это все нас учит? Каждый из нас, мы должны при жизни любить, уважать друг друга, ценить друг друга. Никто не ожидал, nobody could believe it. A person talking, giving Torah, giving shiurim, walking, and suddenly he's gone, and today we're doing the funeral for him. What is this teaching us? We all of us must know, ve'ahavta l'necha kamocha. זה כלל גדול בתורה. We have to love each other. We have to respect each other. We have to give honor to each other. Mr. Reuven, he wasn't sick. He wasn't on the bed. He wasn't asking for anybody, give me some water, give me something to drink, give me food, give me medicine. He was walking, he's doing everything, L'Shem Shamayim. And suddenly, yesterday the night of David HaMelech, the night of Eliyahu HaNavi, Motzei Shabbat, he returned his soul back to Hashem. Сегодня нет у нас слова для утешения ни детям, ни сестрам, ни супруге, ни домотам, ни келинам. Я никогда не видел, чтобы Рубен со злостью что-то сказал. Я никогда не видел, чтобы Рубен, он был обиженный. Он всегда был жизнерадостный. Он всегда говорил с улыбкой. Он принимал с улыбкой. Как он радовался, когда у его дочери дома делали Ханука Дабай. Как он радовался, когда было, друзья, Брит Исхак. Как он радовался, что у него была сила, возможность для изучения Торы. Сегодня я хочу принести соболезнования от его Кудо, Мломирха и дай Бог здоровья тетя Рена. Они не как Кудо, они как родные братья и сестры. Они всегда были рядом. Любые мероприятия. Рубен, он там выступает за Деврей Тора. И он мог говорить, друзья, часами, его было приятно слушать. Он говорил от души. И Тора говорит, когда у человека выходит Деврей Тора из души, входит в душу. Вчера я был в шоке, когда я был в больнице до часу ночи вместе с семьей. Дорогие друзья, было около 100 людей на улице. Это security вышел и говорит, I cannot believe it. This person has such a respect in the community. Unbelievable. И что у нас интересно? Но Рубен всегда говорил, я поеду в Израиль, я поеду в Израиль. Но он сказал, что он хочет быть похоронен в Иерусалиме. И вчера дети вместе с мамой, когда был вопрос, на каком кладбище похоронен, Петах-Тиква, Керет-Малахи, Хулон, Бет-Шемеш, Rabbi, we're going to do only in Jerusalem, no more questions. Мы на деньги не смотрим. Мы сделаем так, чтобы он был похоронен там. И всю ночь мы были на телефоне. Я благодарен Pinkhasov, который живет в Израиле. Дорогие друзья, он нам помог приобрести 2 места. Дай Бог долголетия от Ципори. Но я вам скажу, Ципори и Рубен, они жили с любовью. Они имели огромное уважение друг к другу. Почти прожили 40 лет, 39 лет вместе. Это, друзья, огромная честь, огромная радость. Я хочу сказать вам, детям, то, что вы потеряли папу внезапно. У нас была такая же ситуация 15 лет тому назад. Мой отец скончался внезапно. Это самая тяжелая утрата. Когда человек болеет и готовишься. Яков Авину даже просил от Бога, чтобы Бог дал ему какую-то причину болезни. Но ваш папа ушел без причины. Это тяжелая утрата. Берегите маму. Берегите ее. Она для вас и мама, и папа. Сейчас вы можете поставить миллиарды денег, чтобы папу вернуть обратно. Это никогда не будет. Но крепитесь. Я знаю, вы все шомер шаббат. Я знаю, вы все шомер мицвот. Сейчас, в данный момент, целый год, он нуждается в вашей помощи. Он не может за нас молиться. Он не может нам чем-то помочь. Он нуждается в помощи. Шаббат, кашрут, тарат мишпаха, тейлим, мишнайот, зохар, гамара, everything we're going to learn, this is going to be big zuchut for your father. But please, give honor to your mother. I know you're very close to your mother, all of you. Make sure you're going to be more closer to her. And now your mother to you, mother and father. This is big zuchut, to give honor to your parents. Ципора, пан, должны вы, чтобы Бог вам сам дал утешение вашей душе и сердцем. Вы для ваших детей и мама, и папа. Крепитесь. Дай Бог, чтобы благополучно полетели в Израиль, провели его в последний путь. с честью, как он просил детей, если что-то будет, чтобы это было в Иерусалиме, и семьи поминки были дома. Уже дети это все организовали. Дай Бог вам здоровья. Я бы попросил сейчас вместе с нами наш многоуважаемый рабай, Аурату Ас, Маудин Рабай, Водораб, Рабай Pinkhasov Бахал. Мы попросим Ломаше Бабаева, он пройдет сегодня пожертвование для синагоги.
לעילוי נשמת ראובן בן מזל ודוד. It's very difficult to speak. Extremely difficult. I hope it's only a bad dream and it's not reality. I feel like a person who's lost, chas v'shalom, his own child. The Gemara says, כל המלמד את בן חברו תורה כאילו ילדו. Whoever it teaches somebody the Torah is like he gave birth to him. The Manoach Reuven, I can tell you exactly who he was. We're going back 30 years ago. He was a very pleasant man. Never fought with anybody. Never said a bad word to anybody. And it was exactly what we want to call a person shomer Torah u'mitzvot. The Manoach, we all put in tefillin and we have tzitzit, and we keep Shabbat, and people think that's the religion. It's far away from the truth. A real Oved Hashem is when you see a person that is Baal Midot Tovot. Never talking b'chutzpah. Last night was a terrible night. Terrible. I never felt so bad. The telephone call that I got was a nightmare. A real nightmare. The question is what HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants from us. In one hand, there is a war going on. So many young people that never got married, will never have children. They dying 19 years old, 20 years old. And from the other hand, you have a person that you have already grandchildren, and you're asking yourself, whom shall I cry for? For the young ones? For the one that you know? What HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants from us? Enough, it's enough. How much can we take? And you can look at this fact that Reuven went just like that, without any notice. For the family is devastating, but at least it didn't let them suffer. Sometimes it takes a long time to die. We used to play together in the same game that he passed away last night. I used to play there also. So painful. What can I say to Tzipi? But we all have to know, life you don't take for granted. Every minute that we're still alive, you have to say thank you to Hashem. Because everybody came over here for a mission, and when your mission is over, and Hashem don't ask you if I can take you or not, Hashem will pull the plug out and you out of here, mission accomplished. If a person will know that, he will not lose his mind, okay, that's what it is. But we have to know that every minute is a precious moment. Now we can understand. Very, very well. So, I know that Reuven, all his life he wanted to go and dwell in Eretz Israel. Every time I saw him, I said, no. He said, don't worry, soon enough we're doing Aliyah, we're going to live in Modi'in. Reuven, are you doing Aliyah? You're leaving America, and you're going to dwell in Eretz Israel. not in the form that you wanted, but at least the Adama, meaning the earth of Eretz Israel, will be a kapara. It's a big zechut. It's a big zechut. People don't know what big zechut is, to be zocher, to be buried in Eretz Israel. כתוב הזה, וכיפר אדמתו עמו. The Adama, the earth, will make a kaparat avonot. Reuven, you left us with a big hole in our heart. Your wife, your mother, your sisters, your daughters, and the only son that you have. And the Chatanim, of course. We're all going to miss you. I'm going to miss you. Unfortunately, I have to say that we are already immune. Because from young age, to grow up in Eretz Israel, you hear all the time, almost every day. This one passed away, this one died in the army, this one and that one. So many friends I lost. You're becoming immune at the end. How much can you cry? How much bad news can you observe? But with all the immunity, still it's very difficult. It's very difficult. May God, Hashem will give you koach. Now you have to take over the family. You should learn. You should do a lot of things for your Abba, because you are very special. I know. Not too many people know that. I know that from first hand, before even you were born. All I have to say is, to Tzipora, you have to be strong, you have a family on your shoulders. Hashem should give you koach. Every nisayon that Hashem sent toward a person, give him koach to pick it up. And we have to pick it up. Don't say I can't. There is no such a thing. If it came to you, you have to go out to pick it up. And to the kids, and to the sisters, and everybody, Hashem should give you all the koach to continue. He finished the mission, we are still here. It means we didn't finish our mission yet. We still have a job to do over here, and Be'ezrat Hashem, from here on, the Chushpanat Hara, ובילה המוות לנצח, ומחה השם דמעה על כל פנים. And all of us should be zoche in our own eyes to see the Mashiach coming and the Tchiyat Amitim, and we're going to be zoche to see all of them alive again and for eternity, בעזרת השם. שעוד הוסיפו לרוצה. שיהיה לכם, תיסעו לשלום ותחזרו לשלום, בעזרת השם.
Father, thank you very much. The flight to Israel is going to be today at 6 p.m. and the family has to be in the cemetery by 3 p.m. Bezrat Hashem. And Kivura is going to be tomorrow in Jerusalem around 2 p.m. in the afternoon. 7 days Askara is going to be in Israel, and the 30 days will be Askara over here in New York. We're going to let you know what date and Bezrat Hashem where it's going to be. Today, I would like to ask Rabbi Bloom. Rabbi Bloom is a rabbi of the family. He knows the whole family, and all the family, they pray by him. They used to pray by him. And I would like to please Rabbi Bloom. Yes.
On the permission of the Rabbonim and the family, I'm just going to say a few words. There's not much you can add after Rabbi Chaimov spoke. There is a bracha that we say in the Shemona Esrei at least 3 times a day. That's the bracha called Mogen Avraham. Now why is it, and not only that, but if you didn't have kavanah, if you didn't have concentration when you said that bracha, you're not yotze the davening. That's how important the first bracha of the Shemona Esrei is. Well, why is it that HaKadosh Baruch Hu loved Avraham Avinu so much? So the answer is, because he is going to command the next generations to follow in the service of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So Baruch Hashem, we see an example in our synagogue where his son-in-law Shmuel should live and be well Arichas Yomim. He's a vice president in our shul, and we see the quality of Avraham Avinu as far as doing chesed. But that's not the only thing. We have Baruch Hashem, the next generation. We see in our shul, the children, they come, they participate in the prayers. It's really amazing because that's what HaKadosh Baruch Hu wanted from Avraham Avinu, that the future generations should continue in the path of Avodas Hashem. In Baruch Hashem, we see that the Nifker's grandchildren are going in this path. So I don't know really what greater compliment, what greater thing we can say than actually seeing the future generation, one generation, the next generation, following in Avodas Hashem and participating in the synagogue and even leading the prayers. So I just want to wish that the family should have no more anguish, no more pain, and only b'soros tovos, and that it should continue the zchuyot, should continue to make the neshama should go higher and higher, and he should look down and see tremendous nachas, and it should be a melitz yosher for the family and for the community and for all the people around. And like the Rav said, it's only temporary, because soon it will be Tchias HaMesim, when everyone will meet again and you won't have any more sorrow. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I would like to ask now Rabbi Israel Kaikov, for the Lord, please, since you're also very close a relative, you know the family, and I would like to ask the Rabbi to continue giving the speeches to the other rabbis and other friends of the family. I'm very sorry I have to go to Yeshua at 1 o'clock. For the Rav, thank you very much for understanding.
נשמת ראובן ודוד מזל. As a Rebbe, the microphone is no stranger to me. But I don't remember the last time I held the microphone with such emotions. Rabotai, look around you. This place is packed. Never have I seen a Levaya or heard about a Levaya that was so packed. You might hear a rich man, they respect his riches, they came. Lo Aleinu, a 5-year-old boy. The compassion brought everyone together. Sometimes a great leader with social community and hakarat tov brought everyone together. But for a simple man, a working man, how in the world did so many people come together? All our blood in our veins are so warm right now and so comfortable. We can barely breathe. I'm speaking right now for so many people in the room. Everyone understands what I'm talking about. So many of us are not feeling too comfortable. Our stomachs are turning. What is so special? I knew Reuven since I was a little boy in Rabbi Chaim's shul. And recently I got to know more. When my brother got married to the family, we sat together more often. Rabotai, the day of a person's death is testimony as to who he was. In Yiddish, a person's son-in-laws are called Eidim. It's testimony to who he was. And these are very special sons-in-law. And the rest of the family, of course, also. Whenever we sat together, in a very gentle way, he was very bothered by shtuyot. And he would always say, some Devar Torah, maybe somebody, you know what? I'm going to say. And he would speak. He only cared about mamash avodat Hashem. Anything he spoke about from what I remember. Everyone has their own memories. I don't know. It's from what I remember. He cared about, bottom line, why is it this happened in the parasha? Then you think he doesn't know. Then he would say, I give you 3 reasons. And then he would start explaining. That's not the same Reuven that I know? Unbelievable. He waited till all his children got married. They all had children, Baruch Hashem. And he moved on to Olam HaEmet. He davened in the shul where they didn't buy aliyot, they gave out. And Hashem thought that morning he's going to do Hagbah. And they gave him Hagbah. Picks up Sefer Torah, and this is what my student told me today in class. Rebbe did Hagbah. Hashem says, I'm bringing you up to me. Time is up. Your time is up. Why do we feel uncomfortable? Because each and every person in this room felt like a recipient from him. Something we were gaining, myself and you, from him when we sat together. And now that's a void. Who will fill in that void to pull me out of the hole that I was in sometimes? That's why a person cries the most whenever parents die. Why? Because the parents give guidance. They pull me out of a hole constantly. He had that influence on so many people. There are people standing in the back. It's unbelievable. I've never seen such a thing in my life. Rabotai, especially to the children. Your father tried raising you as best as your mother, of course, as best as he could. It's all about Avodat Hashem. It's all about Torah. About making people feel good. Smiling at people. If you ever attacked him, that you were right and he was wrong, you said, Tov. Lo yodeh, yachol להיות. Yachol להיות, Tov. Mi yodeh, yachol להיות. He never, that was like the last, it was a fight. That's how he put his gloves down. Gam ata tzodek. Gam ata tzodek. It's unbelievable. It's Torah derech eretz. I don't know that many men at his age. He's the son of a doctor. In Eretz Israel, especially by the Sfaradim, a lot of times you have bugs in your head and you go to the wrong path. He was raised towards the path of loving Torah. He was crazy about Torah. I got a chizuk as a Rebbe. I got a chizuk from him. His children should follow that path. Anything you do, whether it's Limud Torah, Tzniut, way of talking, always think, is this the best way Hashem wants it? Because that's how he thought. That's how he thought. Is this the best way Hashem wants it? He pulled his whole family to the right derech. His wife is a very close friend of my mother's and the family. HaKadosh Baruch Hu should give you koach. Should bring us closer to Hashem. Bezrat Hashem, we all see it. We're this close, mamash to the Geulah. Kibbutz Galuyot. 50% of England already applied for Aliyah. It's crazy. People want to move. That's it. Kibbutz Galuyot. Mashiach's coming. You're going to see him, Bezrat Hashem. If you had his emunah, you would believe you're going to see him soon. We say it, but do we believe it? If you had his emunah, you believe, I'm going to see him soon. Bezrat Hashem. His passion brought him to Eretz Yisrael. Every time. I would say, so why don't you move? I used to say, oh, Eretz Yisrael used to tell me, why don't you move? אתה חושב שאני אהיה פה? אני עוד מעט הולך, אני עוד מעט הולך. הלך. It meant to him so much. Zvat Hashem, it should be a militz Yosher for the family, for all of us, for all his family. Not just 5, 6, unbelievable. You should speak for all of us and say, Hashem, I helped them, you continue helping them. At this point, I would like to ask the next Rav to come speak and say a few words. Rabbi Cohen, come.
כבוד הרבנים, נמצאים כולנו בצער, אנחנו בעזוב. עוד מצדיך אדוני הרב. יאקת שתומי דוניו, אדוני הרב, יוסף הצדיק. אמונו קדושתג ראובן, אנחנו גם כניסוי עוד יוסף חיים הרב אשדן. אמונו יקראו במה נשעונדו, תקוי אמונו את הנפר לדחקו וידית. ליבו יגש, takie achudo. מה עבודה במקום תיאמך אמונו דורש, באמת אמונו יאמרו חסך. באמת מבטלים בפרשו יוסף מהרפא. פרשו משיח. Всегда мечтать некогда ки рабай майли цройлмеру. Небуда ки тсеки гаuna мезда га роиторо, данаш дивриторо. Медонис, арой кабала, арой пша, амиш. Простой человек, что меднем. Обидим Йосефа Цадик, вартики агой гидак, чуктак бейномба. Вартим шалахани айна. Шмо мана исина сфондето, мана худос фонда. Шмо мана нефрохтето, мана худос кадак. Аминь. Даже Яков Авину, Аллах Шалом, гранчу аймуно Йосеф. आखिरी यूसुफ याकूब अवीनु फिर लेकिन यूसुफ असदी फिर न शुदे यूसुफ मोंदा शुरू एदेश का चिरो आकदा याकूब अवीनु यूसुफ लिबो इज़ान किया बिना गुफ बखशरू इतुबगु हवासा शुरू बगु पर खायत लिबो इज़ान किया बिना गुगन की जनो किया बखजलो की गुनो में मोना तो आपसे इम्मुनो दोस्ती की गुफ्ती आरोज़ी की खालती बरोज़ी जंजोल तो रोज़ी राफ्ते के ताई बिन्योबा तो आपसे खुशरोए के कुतुब मोना की शब्द सिगोली शाबिश में दोस्ती आप खुदो इतना कोरुवे चेकिने में कदा दुनाज को कुतुब खुदो अगर दुनिया शुभ मिश्ती अगर दुनिया किनेसम मिश्ती अगर किसी दावलब मिश्ती अगर दुनिया ट्रेन बड़ा रफ्सोदी דברים בטלים גם למזה, גם לגוף דברי תורה אומר. Jak to חידושו מהודק ממון. ואנחנו שעת דוניו בודשו, ואנחנו שעת השבודשו בדוניו בא. שכונו שקדק, אברוי מובה, שעה, שזדו, אהבתו, יוש מגיעים. אברוי חודו ביוש נית, אז יקסו לבת ים יוש נית. On svoje zdjel. Бачо, заноша, невероша, келиноша, домотоша, амикшоно, беемуно и чуробомо. Это работа. Но пришел такой момент, что он уходит от этого мира, прочива, что Бурый не зашел. Это потом кио брондараб, так и хиош, он прочива брондараб, но пытает так. У нас умирают 2, 3 детей, 10 ребят внутри армии. Знаете, бебе мемона. Бачайте беде дона мемона. Дето и оно и бачо, что на мебена беше му таки дурас модромо. и никто от нас не плачет. Мы думаем, это природа. Это не природа, это гзера. גזירה כי הפולי בוסלום ומה הריח כמו גרון שכנו דקות כי בחוטו בקטן כי בונו של עולם די, בס עם גזירה בוטילקו אברהם מביא בורא עולם להקצת אחד בנו מרוקי בנו עם היד וסקדם גזירת השם ורחמת כנשם הקדש נתן אבטי שמיים סולש גזירה בעזרת השם, ונקי ואת המקדש המאורות שלה. כמו שאתם נקים בה, לא נשמעים בעזרת השם.
Everywhere Reuven goes, he likes connecting with Rabbanim, and he surely goes to. Those are his best friends, like the club, Rabbi Zaltzman, we have in Levaya very often.
Inadequate to speak about Reuven. I know whenever I have the zchut to give a shir in the shul, whether it's on Shabbat, Sunday morning, I sometimes wondered who's giving the shir, is it me or Reuven? Who's really the one? Speaking about Hagbah, which in fact we saw Shabbat morning, he always had a special way of doing Hagbah. Everybody in the shul knows about this. I just heard on the way here, you say, V'zot HaTorah, Asher Sam Moshe Lifnei B'nei Yisrael. Lifnei B'nei Yisrael means that the Torah, it's not just for big rabbis, not for big tzaddikim, Talmidei Chachamim. The Torah is for everybody. Lifnei B'nei Yisrael. And there's no question Reuven personified this. The Torah that he learned constantly, and it's true we heard about the excitement that Reuven had for Torah, for all parts of Torah. It was unbelievable, it really was, to hear, to see the excitement that he always had. One of the relatives pointed out last night that Reuven went, he was having a good time, and it really was so apropos, so was exactly who Reuven was. He went to have a good time, and he was always having a good time. He always had a smile on his face. He was always there to give simcha to another person, have a good joke, have a good Dvar Torah. And that's how he went to play a game. And there was no uncomfortability. It was all having a good time. On Friday night, I had the zchut to come to the Young Israel, share the Beit Torah with some young college students. The topic I chose was Rabbeinu Bechaya, the beginning of Parshat Vayigash. In his Hakdama, he quotes the pasuk from Shlomo HaMelech, Ma'an Arach Yashiv Cheva, that the soft speech brings down anger. If somebody is angry and you speak genuinely, you speak softly, you talk to them, and that can help bring down, that they're not so frustrated any longer. Rabbeinu Bechaya goes on to talk about the important inyan of speech, the way we can use our speech. He calls derech hayim, learning Torah, influencing to do mitzvot, doing mitzvot. And of course we know about the other way, using our mouths improperly. As we've all heard, and I can say personally, being in the shul, there were two people, I can say about both of them, unfortunately, Aleichem HaShalom, that I can remember that every single week, no matter what, they always tell Rabbi, it was beautiful, no matter what it was unbeautiful, it was beautiful, Kriyat Torah, whether it was the Dvar Torah. Reuven is one of those, Rabbi Kaufman Zatzal was the other one. would always come and tell me. Rabbi Kaufman put on the group last night. She said, Rabbi Kaufman and Reuven are in Gan Eden together. And Reuven really, he always had, every Shabbat, he always came and had a different way of saying it every time, just how beautiful, how amazing it was. And it wasn't because it was so beautiful, it was because Reuven had that Ayin Tovah, a real Ayin Tovah. No matter what he saw, it was something, the way to help somebody out, a way to make someone feel good. That was Reuven. Whether it was the excitement for Torah, whether it was the just there to make someone feel good, just have a good time. That was Reuven. Baruch Hashem, the family does carry this over. So, Mrs. Pinkhasov, the children, definitely is something we see. Baruch Hashem, we can dim them upon him.
Zak Baruch. This week also, Reuven in the parasha passes on. So how Hashem works, connections that there are in the crowd of today's sitting. Is a very dear friend of Reuven's, the Yedid Nefesh, not just him, his parents from Eretz Israel, it's my father-in-law, who had a very strong liking towards Reuven. And I ask, please, God, we have the honor of my father-in-law, Aaron Balkil Chai Yitzchakov, to give a hesped.
שוטר הבנים, שלי איתם, הבנים, פשוט נשמה קדושה. השם סיפרת את בנותיך. It's not easy to make a split today. Like Rabbi Cohen says, Bolos today, a bigger person. He used to work in diamonds, settings. Not everybody understands on diamonds. There are some people here. You recognize what kind of diamonds is it? That person is the big diamond. Everybody said about them. He was one son for his mother and father, and 3 daughters. I'm also one son for my mother and father, and 7 daughters. I was feeling a little bit how his life passed. Without brothers, it's very hard. He was my brother. Very hard. And he passed that. He built his house. Nice children. The rest, 2 daughters. My son, בעזרת השם שעשיתי זוכה, זה מה שקיימה. The father was loving very much. Reuven Kudo, I never heard something bad from him. Always positive. No such a thing negative. And we should learn from each one. David HaMelech says, we should learn. I myself learned from him a lot of things. He knows a lot. Malay mitzvot kirimon. It was speak like at the end always. It was continue. The Chidushim. If somebody asks him, Reuven Pinkhasov, Kabbalist, everybody says this. He was always brings Chidushim of Zohar. should Minchato fi Eden. I don't want to make a long speech here. He was amazing person. Minchato Eden, like everybody says, he won't go to Eretz Israel always. Makir Khuda. When we go out, I'm going with you. He prepared already his house long time ago. B'ezrat Hashem. B'chayat HaMetim, where everybody will see Mamash, B'ezrat Hashem, I think everybody is going to be. So, just we need to pray to all Klal Israel. Namitim Tchiyah, V'lachayim Geulah, Baruch Adonai, Amen.
As I mentioned earlier, a testimony as to a person's identity is very often is his sons-in-law. When Reuven got his first son-in-law, he was so happy as he was with his next son-in-law. He would thank Hashem day and night, Baruch Hashem, Tzaddik, like our dear Shmuel Zabibov. I know you're very emotional, but I think you would really appreciate if you can give some words of hesped. Your father-in-law.
Thank you very much for attending this ceremony. I can't believe I'm standing here. It's such a tragic day for our family. I usually don't speak, I'm not a speaker, but I could not say no. I have to speak for a special person. As you all know, he's a very special person. I have lots to say, just I'm getting a little emotional. I don't want to take a lot of your time. I just, 2 weeks ago, this day, believe it or not, I spoke with him, I knew I spoke with him. He told me that, I'm thinking of going to Eretz Israel, war that's going on. And, I want to go to Eretz Israel, and there's flights, I want to go see my mom. And I said, okay. So this past Friday when we spoke, I asked him, so 2 weeks passed by, I said, did you get your tickets? He said, I wanted to go, but change of plans. I decided to go somewhere else, I'll go after. And today marks the 2 weeks since he said he's going to go to Israel. It's like he felt it. His dream was always to go to Eretz Israel, and this week's Parsha coming up, Vayechi, Yaakov told his son Yosef to make his dreams, to promise to take him to Eretz Israel, and we, the family, decided to make his dreams come true and take him to Eretz Israel. And my father lived to 120, he was like a father to me. I'm in this family, I've been married for over 12 years now. Not ever once he raised his voice, as you all know. And, he's just, and he gave me the kavod because the motor he always went above and beyond. And, he's a good role model. I'm fortunate to have him as a father-in-law. And even my wife and I was discussing how we're going to break this news to our children. He was a good grandfather. We loved him. And all I can say is he left great memories. Yesterday was just like a shock of how everything transpired so fast. But I know it's hard as it is, but like Rabbi said, he didn't suffer. And he was always positive, and he left with positive, left this world positivity. I could speak more about him, but this one, we're running out of time. Thank you very much for coming, and maybe Yoli will come back to you in the happy days.
Reuven was a very unique person, and he had a certain style. There's only one person in the world that I know that reminds me, as they say in Hebrew, Shet put mine with Reuven, it's his next son-in-law. I'm sure Mary would testify the same. Certain direct halakha, homash, pasuk, tachlis. Very, very, homash, hear some words of have inspiration from Binyamin Tzchakov, next solo.
ברשות כל קהל הקדוש הזה, ברשות הרבנים וברשות הנפטר, חמי, just like my father-in-law, just like my father. It's so hard to see him not with us anymore. He was a special man. I can't believe it. We got the news last night. We're lucky to be here right now. The first time I met my father-in-law was about 8 years ago, and I never regret not meeting him. He was so good. Never ever did he argue. Like some said already, he never raised his voice. He was always positive. There's so much to say about him. This Shabbat, I was reading Shabbatot Kochecha V'Yenuch Uvam. We say it 3 times. Shacharit, Arbit, Shacharit, Musaf, and Mincha. So 4 times we say it in Shabbat. But there's 3 times. One time we say Va, Vo, and Ba, with a Hey, Va, Bet, with a Vav and a Mem Sufri. That was the last Divrei Torah I spoke to my father about 3 weeks ago, and he told it to me, and it was some kind of midrash. I read it this Shabbat and I forgot how it was, and I said to myself, I'm going to ask him the next time I see him, and I can't ask him, but I'm going to have to look in the books and see where he said. He just had a lot of Torah in him that we all, more than we can imagine. But you were working on Miriam's necklace. You can't complete it. It was before your time. This is not your time. I don't think so. I think the Jewish nation has to wake up. I think you took him early because of all our sins. We have to wake up. I don't think so. There's soldiers that are dying in Israel. It's because of us. We have to wake up. This is not a joke. I think he could have lasted longer. Hashem even waited for him not to pass away in the years of the 50s, because the years of the 50s is karet. The only year 52 is not karet, like Shmona Havi. He hit the age of 60. Hashem took him away. He's a tzaddik. He never hurt anyone's feelings. He always told me, Binyamin, just don't worry, everything's going to be okay. Don't let it go. If someone hurt you, let it go. Don't respond. I learned a lot from him. He taught me ping pong as well. The first time I held a racket was only 7 years ago. He was the best, not only a father, not only a father-in-law, but like a father and a brother to us. I'm so happy that he got to see his grandchild from his last daughter, and saw his last son's wedding, of all his children's wedding. May God, Hashem, put him in, I'm sure, in Gan Eden, תהיה נשמתו, צורה בחיים, הקדוש ברוך הוא נתן לנו זהב, a diamond. The more we spent time with him, it was so fun to be with him. Always smiling. Hashem took it from us. It's our fault. We have to wake up. Let's take something upon ourselves, everyone. Everyone. There's a lot of, again, young soldiers out there. I would be there with them. Hashem, please stop all this pain. Please bring Mashiach. We want Mashiach. We'll see you soon. Abba Reuven.
Baruch, like I just heard Reuven. When a diamond is lost, it's a diamond wherever it is, as the Gemara says. It's the owner, the ones that enjoy the sparkle, that lost out on the sparkle. But he's a diamond wherever he is. Reuven's diamond, our last speaker, the apple of his eye was his son. I remember Meir since he was born, growing up in front of my eyes. This was Reuven's pride and joy and love, as he loved all of his children and all of his friends. Meir, Chabad.
Mike.
There's so much I can say. I don't want to use a microphone because my dad never used microphones. He had a voice. He said, say it loud and say it proud. Apurka. There's so much I can say about you. 26 years Hashem blessed me with you. 26 years Hashem gave me a diamond. An incredible person, a joyful person, a happy person, an understanding person. I grew up with no brothers. I grew up with a lot of cousins. I had brother-in-laws, but I grew up with no brothers, 2 older sisters. And my dad was not only a father, not only a dad, but he was my brother. Not in a disrespectful way. Abba, I'm sorry if I'm saying it in a disrespectful way. You guided me. You opened my eyes to the world. My father would never tell me, do this. Never be on top of me. He would always give me 2-3 options. Say, Meir, ata chacham. You're smart. You know what's good, you know what's right, you know what's wrong. Make your decision. It's your life, your play, your move. Father was a very, very, very wise man. Very wise man. And I want to, first of all, thank Hashem. כשם שמודה על הטוב, כך צריך להודות על הרע. I want to thank Hashem for blessing me 26 years with Papurka. Abba. And how do I know Hashem did with me a chesed? Because the gematria of 26 is Hashem's name. Forgot to mention this. Reshut HaKohanim, Reshut HaRabbanim. My father would say, my father took a vow upon himself 15, 20 years ago, I don't know exactly, but his aunt, Tzot Tanya, Tzot Tamara, his mother's sister, he took a vow to say Kaddish for her. She passed away last year, yesterday. Yesterday, they all sat in the restaurant they had over there. The 1 year for Sultania. He said Kaddish.
said Zohar. He said a beautiful speech. Too bad I wasn't there for Sukkot. All I can say is thank you, Hashem, for not letting my father suffer. Thank you for giving him a kiss, for doing a chesed with him. On the way to the hospital, I was with my wife. As soon as I got the news, as soon as Shmuel called me, my mom was hysterical. I said, Ima, tachshavi tov, hakol yeh tov. That's what my father always used to say. Tachshov tov, yeh tov. Think good, will be good. Abba, you're going to be dearly missed. I love you a lot. Why didn't I spend more time with you? Why couldn't I get more knowledge from you? Why couldn't I soak up more wisdom from you? I know you prepared me for this world. You made me into the man I am today. You taught me the right implements. You taught me the way of Hashem. But not only that, of course the way of Hashem is first, but He taught me the way of the world, to be honest in business, to do business right. He told me, Mayor, if money can solve an issue, it's not a problem. If money can't solve it, it's an issue. If anybody has arguments over money, first thing I should tell you to take upon yourself, if you have 1% respect for my father, go and make shalom. My father was a man, ohev shalom, verodev shalom. He always used to tell me, have Aaron HaKohen straight. You have to have Aaron HaKohen straight. Not only love peace, but chase peace. No matter what it is, make sure you do right. Don't want to take more time. I know every second that my father is out, his goof is out, he's suffering. But I do want to say one more thing. A little Dvar Torah. To connect us to this past week's parsha. This is what my father would want. My father was a man of God, a man that, even if he wasn't prepared to talk, which I'm not prepared to talk, and may nobody ever know the pain, the sorrow, the feeling. But my father always used to say, "B'makom she'en adam tiyeh adam." Not saying that there's no anashim here, adamim. But let me make a little correlation to this week's parasha, this past week's parasha. This past week's parasha was talking about Yosef HaTzadik, how he was taunting his brothers, how he was playing with them. And Yehuda came, just to short it up into a little nutshell. Yehuda came, he said, what? You're looking to marry my sister? Am I asking in a hand for your daughter's marriage? What are you coming to ask me all these questions? They say, whoever says, I heard this from Reuven and Yaakov. We were sitting by his house for Shabbat. We had a great Dvar Torah over there, and I want to repeat it here because I know my father will love it. Came to a point where they came to Mitzrayim, they met Yosef, they brought him into a separate room, they bought them the food, and they came home and they realized that they have their money in their bag. The money that they paid Yosef for the food. The second they got home, they pashpesh b'ma'asam, they went back on their thinkings and said, oh, this is probably from Mechirat Yosef. That means it was 22 years. 22 years before, as a group of the Shvatim, realizing that they did something wrong. Yehuda would have been able to kick his stool, Yosef's stool, and make Yosef into pieces. From what I learned. I don't know how accurate it is. He put himself in a great sakana, Yosef. But, what did my father have? And I can say this, I'm going to say this loud and proud. The families here, they all know, each individual, where this is going to sit in their heart. He said, it's not, Yosef said, why did he put himself in that sakana? He said, it's not worth it for one of the Egyptians to see how I embarrass my brothers and sisters, my brothers. For none of them to feel it. If my brothers would feel embarrassed in front of the Egyptians, he'd rather be dead than to embarrass his brothers in front of the Egyptians. What does that tell you about a person? There was a little machloket, small machloket, didn't last a long couple of weeks in our family a couple of years ago, where properties, this, that, and my dad said, I'm not going to do anything. No money is worth to me in this world for my mom to have a second of pain. 1 second of pain. I'm sorry that I have to put it out on blast. Whatever it is, we never had machlokot because my dad was the peace holder. He was the back. He was the oev shalom or dev shalom. He was chasing peace and he loved peace. Baburka, I love you dearly. I want to say that I appreciate everything you have done for me till the last moment. My father felt like he was going. He felt it. He called me at 7:10, sitting down on the bench. I heard the ball bouncing back and forth in the background. I was sitting with Reuven, smoking a cigarette in his office. And my father calls me. How you doing? How you feeling? I recently got a dog. Doesn't make a difference, but he loved the bliyot. He loved creations. That's how much of the type of a person he is. A little fly he wouldn't hurt. He would say, he would say, you gotta, feel bad for every little thing that Hashem created. Especially spiders. He said, spiders have to have a galat tov. Catch them, take them out of the house. He asked me how my dog was doing. I said, how about the dog is doing well, this and that. He said, how are you enjoying? I'm doing well. I'm here with the friends, playing ping pong. I said, enjoy. I said, Abba, I love you. I'll see you soon. He said, I love you too. But he usually says to me, I will see you soon. He did not say that this time. Yesterday I walked into my father's office. I know I was his pride and joy, and I know I have massive shoulders to fulfill. Because every corner that I look was another picture of me. At every different stage of my life. Since I was an infant, going down to my wedding. He loved our sisters. He loved Gedalia. He was his first daughter. He loved Miriam. I always used to say, Miriam, pick me up, pick me up. But I know my father wanted a boy for many years. And I know I'm his pride and joy. And I know I have a massive legacy to fulfill. Abba, I know you left me prepared for this. And I know you're going to pray for me because I still need your wisdom. I still need your guidance. I love you dearly, Abba. Mashiach is on the way here. According to, who is it? Ramban. There's about 16 years left to Ramban's calculations that Mashiach is here. This world is a prosdom. It's a hallway. This is a preparation to the next world. We do not Not pride, not money, not a house, not a car, not gold. If the person is lucky, he'll be buried with his talit. And if the person is lucky, he'll be buried directly to the ground, not in a casket, where the body even suffers even more. I know my father had a very, very, very peaceful passing, because he got God's kiss. And we just have to accept whatever Hashem does is for our good, even if we don't see it at the time that it is. Only after being in the darkness one can appreciate the light. Abba, I'll see you soon. Zat Hashem. Hashem is on his way. I promise you, giving you a vow, I will make sure say 3 times a day Kaddish for you, because you were always on top of saying Kaddish. You didn't say it regularly low. You said it loud and proud, like you would want me to say the speech right now. Say it loud and proud. If anything ever happens to Savta, I'm going to take the responsibility to say Kaddish for her, and say Zohar for her, and say Hashkabah for her, and hold the whole family together. My father wanted that all the askarot to do in the house, in my grandmother's house. How do I know? Because that was his father's request. He never asked me to do it, but he always said, listen, my father's minhag was to do askarot at home. He had tables, he had benches, he had chairs. I would always go, we would go shut the chickens, we would clean the chickens for the askarot, Savtamaz used to do this, Savtamaz used to do that, blah, 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 blah. He loved setting things up at home. My grandfather passed away when I was 13 years old. Every week, every month, whenever it was, he would make the askara, invite everybody. Not only that, he would open up the table on the ping pong table. He's one man you can learn how to have a from, how to welcome people, how to greet people b'seber panim yafot. He would greet people with a smile. You greet someone with a smile, he would automatically smile back. You'd always. I love you, Abba. So much more I can say. And I know you're watching over the whole family. For I believe 30 days or 7 days, my father told me I would ask him. He's not here. He was my rabbi. He was my guide. Any question I had. He was one of the most humble people you will ever meet. He had it all. He had it all. Properties, houses, horses, cars, dog. He did it all. 60 years, he accomplished things that people do not accomplish in 93 years. Why to suffer in this world? Our neshama every night, it goes back. It doesn't want to come back here. Our neshama goes under the kisei hakavod. Doesn't want to come back here. That's why, yes, I did cry. Yes, I am mourning. But I know my father is not suffering. He's not in a bad place. He's not in the hospital. He's with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. He's with Abba Shebashamayim. Abba Shebashamayim, please, Terachem al Imah Sheli. Give her strength. Give her power to remain our back, our structure. Because, Mom, we cannot do this without you. You lived with Abba for 30 plus years.
No one can do without you. The way Abba treated you?
Treated my mother like a queen. Queen is not a word. He would ever see her upset. Why are you upset? Come, let me give you a hug. Let me give you a kiss. Don't be upset. He would calm her down with the nicest words. sukkah. I'm going to watch over you. Okay, amen.
Zak Baruch. Mayor, I was listening to you. It was worth coming just to hear you, the inspiration. I understand now what it means. Yaakov Avinu said Shema Yisrael instead of hugging and kissing Yosef. Took the moment to connect with Hashem. Ashrecha. Now we would like to hear a little kina from Mr. Albert. Sergeant? No. Yeah, Albert. Rabotai, please, another few minutes, a little respect, another 2 minutes. Somebody came for a giving.
Вот сейчас сын говорил, очень тяжело было его слышать. Говорили домоты, очень тяжело было слышать. Дуньёй пурасрор ганимат, дусероз и рузгор ганимат, харидору бозор ганимат, азизонам дидор ганимат. Кохнакорон дуньёй фони, говори пуркимат джавони, фурсат котох дар зиндагони. Амин дамхо бисёр ганимат. В этой жизни есть горе, в этой жизни есть муки, в этой жизни есть счастье, и радость, и любовь, и страдания души есть от вечной разлуки, что с родными людьми мы не встретимся вновь. Пацаном ведь я был, помню крепкие руки, поднимал меня в небо, и я был так рад. Никогда я не думал о вечной разлуке. Есть отец у меня, он из лучших наград. Мой отец, ты мне жизнь подарил. Мой отец, моим другом ты был. Мой отец ведь всегда был со мной. Мой отец, как спокойно с тобой. Но болезнь так коварна была, она силы твои забрала. Как хотел я помочь, но тех сил не нашлось. Навсегда нам расстаться пришлось. Мой отец, ты мне жизнь подарил. Мой отец, моим другом ты был. Мой отец ведь всегда был со мной. Мой отец, как спокойно с тобой. Но болезнь так коварна была, она силы твои забрала. Как хотел я помочь, но тех сил не нашлось. Навсегда нам расстаться пришлось. Мой отец, Levaya. Хило рахмат кылып.
Let's please walk the Aron, as it says in the Parsha, Vayisim Ba'aron this week, outside, down the block. Yoshev B'Set Redon, and Anna B'Choach.
Sorry. Sorry. Excuse me, sorry. Excuse me. Sorry. Excuse me. Sorry. Excuse me. Sorry. Excuse me, sorry. Excuse me, excuse me. Excuse me, guys. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Can I get through, please? Excuse me, please. Excuse me. Sorry.
В прошлом году мы маме делали все.
Женщины, чуть-чуть дайте пройти мужчин, отойдите вам. Тоже нельзя поднимать.
אגב בכוח גדולת ימינך תתיר צרורה קבל רינת המעצה כבן תורת תנועה והגיבור תושב לו כשומרים הם תרנו חמש סרטים גדום חית גאל לנו חפש וחוש ושבתנו קבל מה צעקתנו יודע תלומות
Children and relatives, Shemchila, ask Mechila, Simachu Lach 3 times. Where's Tippy? Men out of the way, men out of the way, please. Men out of the way, out of the way. Back to the side. To the side, back up, back up, back up. איפה ראש? ראש. What is in this? ראש? This is ראש? רבותיי, we have to ask together, מחילה. Also see, I will forgive them, מחול לך. Where's your mother?
Where's my mom? Where's my mom?
She's coming.
Thank you.
Where's the car? Walk. You walk with the head first, yeah? Head first. Show the car. Danny, the car is there? The hearse. See it where? Sure?
אבא, סליחה! אני יודעת שאתה רצית לנסוע בגללי, לא נסעת. אבא, סליחה! אתה לא נסעת, אתה רצית, ואני לוקחת אותך בחופשה!
Okay, let's go up. Let's go up. Up again. Up. 2, 3. Go. Touch. Okay, man on this side. Got it? Careful.
Excuse me.
Go.
Can you go back a little bit?